Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a really fascinating stack of sources you sent over, and today we're going to dig into the key takeaways. We're focusing on Burkina Faso. It's a landlocked nation in West Africa, and it's really at a pivotal moment right now. See, beneath its soil, there are these massive gold deposits. It sparked what people are calling a gold boom, and it's changing the economy fast. So the big question we're tackling for you is this: can this newfound mineral wealth actually deliver, widespread prosperity for all Burkinabe, or is it going to be another chapter in that familiar story of resource exploitation we've seen elsewhere? That's kind of our mission today, to see if Burkina Faso can maybe break that pattern.
It's a really critical question because,
Yeah.
look, over the past decade, gold hasn't just become their most valuable export. It's fundamentally reshaped the whole economic picture. You've got foreign companies pouring in millions, opening these big industrial scale mines across the country. That's driving GDP growth, absolutely. But what's also happening, and maybe gets less press, is this surge in what they call artisanal small scale mining, ASM. Yeah, our sources really highlight this. This ASM sector, it's harder to track, sure, but it often employs way more people directly, especially out in rural areas. It becomes a lifeline. So you have this dual thing going on, these huge industrial mines and this booming informal sector side by side. It makes this whole gold story pretty complex.
That's a really important distinction. So when we talk about the promise of prosperity, it's not just like digging gold out of the ground and selling it, is it? The sources suggest the government is actually trying to channel revenues, at least from the big mines, into infrastructure. We're talking tangible things, right?
Yeah.
Improvements in healthcare, schools, even getting better digital access out there.
Yeah, and I saw a quote from an official that really stuck with me, something like, this gold boom is more than just numbers. It's about roads, schools, hospitals, things, he said, our people have waited generations to receive. That sounds like a pretty big deal.
Oh, it absolutely can be. And the human side of this,
Yeah.
it's incredibly powerful when you look at it. For so many ordinary people in Burkina Faso, this gold boom has genuinely opened up opportunities, jobs. I mean, jobs were incredibly scarce in many rural areas before. Now they're more available. And not just in the mines, right? But in things that support mining transport, local shops and services.
Right, and there was that quote from a miner, wasn't there? Really powerful.
The one about sending money home.
Exactly. Saying something like, it's hard work, yeah, but now I can send money back. Before the mine opened, we had nothing. That's it. That direct individual impact. That's the bright side, the golden dawn of hope people talk about. A real shot at a better life for some.
That human story is definitely compelling. But knowing how these things usually go, what were some of the early warning signs in the sources? Was it kind of clear from the start this wouldn't all be positive? Because we've talked about the potential of this golden dawn, but the sources also paint a picture of a pretty worrying shadow side, didn't they?
They did, yes. While the economic benefits are there, the sort of unchecked way some of this mining is happening, it's led to serious environmental damage. We're seeing ecosystems just destroyed, rivers polluted, vital groundwater sources being drained. There was that environmental activist quote in one of your sources, really stark.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Trees are gone. Water we once drank is now poison. The gold helps, yes, but at what cost? Puts it bluntly, doesn't it?
It really does.
And it's not just the environment. There are growing social tensions, too. You have whole communities being uprooted to make way for mines. And with all this new money flowing in, the inequality that was probably always there, well, it's just becoming much more obvious, much sharper, creating new divides.
It really does sound like that classic trade-off, the Faustian bargain. You gain economically, but you risk losing the very foundation you stand on. So where do things go from here? What's the path forward according to the sources?
Well, what's interesting is that the solution isn't just stop mining. Our sources are pretty clear on that. That's rarely realistic or even helpful for a developing country with these kinds of resources. Instead, it's all about figuring out how to mine responsibly. Things like proper environmental rules, making sure companies are held accountable, and actually including local communities in the decisions and benefits. It's described as a balancing act, really, trying to get to sustainable development. There was an NGO leader quoted who put it very well. We must use this gold to invest in human capital.
Human capital.
Meaning investing in people, right? Education, healthcare, job skills. Things that empower the population for the long run, not just quick profits for a few.
Okay, so improving people's ability to contribute beyond just mining itself.
Exactly. It's about building capacity for the future. Ultimately, the sources suggest transparency and, well, good governance are going to be the deciding factors. They'll determine whether this wealth actually builds the nation up or just makes the existing problems worse.
Right. But even with all those challenges and that clear need for better governance,
Yeah.
the sources did point to some genuinely hopeful things happening, didn't they?
Yeah, they talked about new investments being made directly in the people, especially focusing on young people and women. They're increasingly seen as the very heart of long-term progress. That was the phrase used. And there was that female entrepreneur. What an inspiring quote that was.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
She said something like, gold shouldn't be our end goal, just the start. We're building businesses, not just digging holes.
I loved that.
That's great. Captures a whole different mindset.
Exactly. And it seems it's not just talk. The sources mention, like a growing network of tech hubs, agricultural co-ops, often led by these younger people and women. It suggests real steps are being taken to diversify the economy, to move beyond just relying on the gold.
A grassroots effort, almost.
Kind of feels like it. It really underscores that idea that true wealth isn't what's in the ground, it's what we do above it.
Yeah.
And they give examples, right? Solar panels in rural areas, better farming tech, community projects starting up.
Yeah, and if you connect that to the bigger picture, this whole gold boom has given Burkina Faso a rare chance, a genuine turning point. Not many countries get an opportunity like this to fundamentally change their path, maybe escape that whole resource curse thing we see so often.
Right, that trap where mineral wealth paradoxically leads to worse outcomes.
Exactly. But, and this is crucial, nothing is guaranteed here. The sources are clear on the risks. Corruption is a huge one. Political instability, just general mismanagement. These are very real threats that could derail everything.
So the potential is there, but it could still go wrong.
Absolutely. The choices they make now, how they handle the money, how they invest in their people, whether they build strong institutions, those choices will shape the country for generations. It's about turning this moment, this kind of volatile opportunity, into lasting positive change.
So Burkina Faso really does seem to stand at the edge of a golden dawn. Maybe a complex one, but a dawn nonetheless. This deep dive, looking through your sources, has shown us the incredible potential, hasn't it? But also the really profound challenges we've seen, the individual hopes, the big government plans, and those very real environmental and social costs. But then there's also this other story emerging about local innovation, about investing in people. So the final question we want to leave you with is this. As this golden dawn breaks over Burkina Faso, what does it actually take for a nation to turn buried treasure into real, lasting, and equitable progress for all its citizens? Something to think about.